Welcome to an exciting exploration of Game Freak's involvement in the Isahaya Bay project in Japan, and its fascinating connection to the beloved Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire games. In this video, we'll delve into the real-world inspiration behind the game's storyline, how environmental conservation efforts shaped the Hoenn region's geography, and the remarkable impact it had on the gaming world. Join us as we uncover the hidden secrets and connections between the Isahaya Bay project and the Pokemon adventure that captivated our hearts and imaginations. Ruby and Sapphire are notable entries in the Pokemon series because they tackle environmental themes more explicitly than their predecessors. While the series always had underlying environmentalist roots, these games bring these themes to the forefront. The games take place in the Hoenn region, which is inspired by the real-world location of Isahaya Bay in Kyushu, Japan. Isahaya Bay was the site of a controversial land reclamation project that sparked heated debates in Japan during the early 2000s. The Isahaya Bay project aimed to reclaim land from the sea, which had native environmentalists concerned about the destruction of wetland habitats, while local fishing communities feared the impact on fish populations and seaweed cultivation. Seaweed exports and fishing play a pivotal role in the local economy of Japan, contributing significantly to the nation's economic prosperity and cultural identity. Japan has a long-standing tradition of relying on the sea for sustenance, and the fishing industry has been a cornerstone of its economy for centuries. The country's coastal communities, from Hokkaido in the north to Okinawa in the south, are heavily dependent on fishing for their livelihoods. The industry not only provides employment opportunities for a large number of people, but also supports related sectors like processing, distribution, and export. Seaweed, a staple in Japanese cuisine, has become a lucrative export commodity. Japan is one of the largest producers and consumers of seaweed globally, with varieties like nori, kombu, and wakame being integral to traditional dishes such as sushi and miso soup. The export of seaweed not only generates substantial revenue, but also enhances Japan's global culinary influence. As a result, seaweed exports contribute not only to the economic well-being of local communities, but also to Japan's positive international image as a leader in culinary innovation and sustainable agriculture.
Listen up! Team Magma will be leaving for the seafloor cave.
Listen up, Kyogre! The name is Archie, and I call the shots in Team Aqua!
The Reclamation Project illuminates Team Aqua and Team Magma's actions in Ruby and Sapphire, revealing a deeper story of environmental and livelihood balance beyond a simple land or water preference. This controversy serves as a real-world backdrop for the conflict in Ruby and Sapphire. Team Aqua seeks to expand the sea, while Team Magma aims to expand the land. This theme of balance between nature and civilization is quintessential to the game's storyline and setting. Understanding this real-world context adds depth to the game's narrative. Team Aqua and Team Magma, with their extreme views, may have initially seemed abstract, but when seen in the context of the Isahaya Bay conflict, their motivations become more tangible. The clash between these two teams, each pursuing their vision of changing the environment, mirrors the debate surrounding land reclamation in Kyushu. However, the themes of land versus sea might not resonate as strongly with American Pokemon fans, particularly those who live far from the coast. In contrast, players from island nations like New Zealand may have a different perspective, with a stronger connection to the sea. To them, Team Aqua and Team Magma's stances might be viewed differently. Team Aqua and Team Magma are portrayed as antagonists, but their characterizations in the original Ruby and Sapphire games lack depth. They come across as two-dimensional, and their motivations seem overly similar. The distinctions between Archie and Maxie, the leaders of the two teams, are subtle, making the conflict feel even more abstract. The conflict at Isahaya Bay is better represented in the updated versions of the games Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, which emphasize the differences between Archie's environmentalist stance and Maxie's industrial ambitions. These differences make the conflict more concrete and relatable. The two-game format, with different versions featuring opposing teams, was a unique experiment in the Pokemon series. While it allowed players to experience the story from different perspectives, it also had its drawbacks. In later games, like Diamond and Pearl, Black and White, X and Y, the villains have consistent goals, unlike the opposing teams in Ruby and Sapphire. Emerald, the third version of the Hoenn games, offers a unified storyline that provides a more coherent narrative. Both teams' motivations make more sense, and the players get to see Archie and Maxie realize their mistakes and seek a redemption. However, the climax in Emerald lacks player agency, as Rayquaza arrives to resolve the conflict without much player involvement in Sapphire. The games appear to advocate for finding a balance between human civilization and nature, but the portrayal of both teams as extremists and the intervention of Rayquaza complicates the message. The compromise in the game seems to align with an environmentalist perspective, as Hoenn showcases examples of humans living in harmony with nature. However, Team Aqua's desire to restore the ocean to a primordial state in Alpha Sapphire, and the emphasis on balance with Rayquaza and Emerald leave room for different interpretations. It's unclear if the games are suggesting that both sides were equally wrong, or if there's a specific environmental message they intended to convey. In conclusion, Ruby and Sapphire are intriguing Pokemon games that delve into environmental themes. Their connection to the Isahaya Bay conflict in Japan adds depth to their narrative. The games explore the balance between nature and civilization with an emphasis on compromise. While the execution of these themes may have room for improvement, they offer the player a unique perspective on environmental issues and the consequences of human actions on our natural world. If you liked our deep dive into the Isahaya Bay project and its correlation to the Pokemon games in Generation 3, you'll be happy to know that we have more deep dives on the way. Let us know in the comments below what games you want us to cover, and don't forget to like and subscribe.